Welcome back from the live. This is UBC Lunchtime News at 1 p.m. with me, Maureen Babidie, on the 17th of June 2025. Now, in our first report this afternoon, the administration of Nebi Prayer Mount Center is calling upon government to support through the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities and Uganda Tourism Board, responsible for marketing Uganda, to improve the road network and access to clean water and electricity to aid tourists and people using the worship center. The call was made by Okum Bernard, the in charge of the prayer center, which comprises 10 prayer centers focusing on spiritual healing for individuals and church groups, with the said to be the smallest church in the world, which attracts tourists. Take a look.
It's all right.
It is a prayer mountain. Normally, it is a prayer mountain. It's located in Agweshiloa village, Kashaka parish, sub-county Serusi, Nebi district. It is under Church of Uganda. This prayer mountain, it is Biko Retreat Center. Some people call Biko Retreat Center, others call it Nebi Prayer Mountain. Yeah. So the place started way back around 1995 by retired Dr. Henry Lukurome and a certain lady from Korea. She's called Sister Kim. They are the one who got the place. They started praying long ago. Later on, people just come. People who like praying, they like it, so that maybe they can keep their spiritual belief maybe strong. I don't know that one. But always people from Kampala, Rua, Moyo, Masindi, Lira, even people from Rwanda, they come here to pray. The support from government, we need it in 4 ways. One, the road is not good. Come to here. Two, we don't have power here. We need power, electricity. And then three, here we don't have water. And then four, even fund which can support the workers here through the dust with the government. Also, that's why we also need it support.
Thank you so much for that report. Now, education experts in Western Uganda have raised alarm about the increasing number of children dropping out of school due to domestic violence, child sexual violence, and lack of scholastic materials. The announcement was made in Mbarara City during the celebration of the International Day of the African Child. Take a look.
Civil society organizations, among them Healing Together Uganda, Raising Teenagers Uganda, Golden Voice Foundation Africa, and Girls Opportunity Alliance, converged in Mbarara City at St. Mary's Primary School and Kateke Primary School to celebrate the International Day of the African Child.
It's no longer the limit because we have the footprints on the what? On the moon.
Elevating advocates, erasing harmful and strengthening access and retention of girls in school, among others, were some of the objectives of meeting young children in schools.
We have seen a lot of abuse in homes. We have seen an increase in child marriage, teenage pregnancy. Some of the girls are abused by their relatives and they end up pregnant and they drop out of school.
Brenda Ariatugumya, the founder of Healing Together Uganda, thanked the government for establishing schools where children go for studies, though the number of dropouts is increasing now and again.
The work we are doing right now is supporting government, because government is not sitting. It is also doing whatever they can do to bring, these children, there is UP schools so that every child accesses school. So that's why we, civil society organizations, are coming in to make sure that these children go to school.
We thank the government that it has actually brought schools to different communities. There are schools in almost all the districts in Uganda. But while schools are here, we also want to encourage parents to ensure that your children go to those schools. because we have children who are just home and not going to school, even when the schools are near.
She highlighted some of the challenges that hinder children from accessing education and called upon leaders, parents, and the government to intervene.
70% of children who are sexually abused, they're abused by people who are just close to them. So that is also another challenge. Another challenge faced by the African children, they walk like long distances to access school. So some of them end up not managing to make it through and drop out.
The deputy head teacher of St. Mary's Primary School, Kateke, Karinaitwe Immaculate, challenged parents to stop domestic violence at home because it limits the performance of education.
They find there are some people who are trying to harass them, like the rapists, like the thieves. Not only that one, they lack a lot of scholastic materials. They don't give them enough scholastic materials.
Pupils shared some of the challenges they go through on their way to and from school.
Find the drunkards who also harass us. On reaching at school, sometimes you find like you're late because of those challenges.
This day is very important to African children. It helps us to know that we are also people in the world. It helps us to get inspired.
Kawanguzi Paul, Nelson Akatuhurira, UBC.
Thank you so much for that report. The 2025 International Social Work and Social Development Conference has opened at Makerere University with participants from more than 20 countries in attendance. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Agre Chibenge, represented her Minister Betty Amongi at the opening of the conference, organized by the Makerere College of Humanities and Social Sciences with funding from the Norwegian government. We have the details.
Yes, this is of policies of the country, in terms of the laws, in terms of participation, economic participation. That's why you hear His Excellency the President repeatedly emphasizing the issue of improving household incomes. Because how else are you going to build that resilience if the homestead cannot meet its requirements?
This conference, Social Work Conference on Resilient Communities, aligns directly with our interest as an organization, because we are talking about the challenges that are facing communities, and particularly the challenges that are affecting children.
As the people of humanities and social sciences. So at the end of the day, this conference is emphasizing the need to build that community that can not only bounce back, but bounce forward, to use the words of our keynote speaker.
Planetary boundaries, which already 3 of those boundaries have been overshooted. And one of those is climate change, the whole Earth warming. The 1.50 is gone and past. We're now targeting globally this number, the 2.
Now, in light of the presidential election mobilization, as we head to the 2026 general elections, the PLU foot soldiers have decided to join hands and mobilize support for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni across the country. This has been said by Baine Timothy, the coordinator PLU Foot Soldiers Buganda region, during the official launch presidential election mobilization team across the country in Kampala. They've been urged to embrace government programs including PDM and Emyoga to eradicate poverty in their communities as they are mobilizing for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's elections.
Soldiers, our major objective is to canvass votes for President Museveni come 2026-2031. As we all know, President Museveni and NRM performed quite well in the central region. So it's upon me as the regional coordinator for central region of Uganda region to see that this time around we pull up our socks and win for President Museveni in flying colors.
I want to advise the foot soldiers most especially peer-reviewed soldiers, that wherever you are, coordinate with NRM coordinators, NRM chairmen, NRM leaders, wherever they are, so that we work on the same page, rather than always complaining that there are things that are coming maybe from the State House, maybe from the government initiatives, and you're not getting them. The only challenge is one that you're not coordinating. You need to
PLU, we are patriotic. So we are still using our own funds, and we are making sure we are reaching all the corners to make sure that at least President Museveni this time around wins the Uganda region with 85% of the votes. For Chiboga, particularly where I come from, or where I'm protesting, we have already laid strategies, and we have created Mayumba Kumi groups in which we go through to look for the votes of President Museveni.
In some places, people are very poor, so that they don't gain much in government programs, especially in people.
Thank you so much for watching UBC Lunchtime News. We'll take a short break and return with more details.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo.
Hi, Mango Senior School. We are here to reward one of our winners that paid school fees with Momo, and they got themselves school fees for a whole year.
The winner is my little sister. We loaded the money on my line. We did a payment. So basically that's the story behind as to why it's me and then mom. It's such a relief for any parent, because you imagine sitting at the back and knowing the child is going to do school for a full year. You're not worried about anything whatsoever. So I'm excited. Thank you, MTN.
This is continuous, so please, I call upon everyone to continue paying school fees with Momo. Dial *165 *80# and pay school fees with Momo and stand a chance to win school fees for a whole year.
In the neighborhood, near stagnant water and mosquito breeding sites, malaria lurks, always waiting to strike. But fear not, for here comes Mr. Vaxxer, the ultimate protector against malaria. For years, malaria has been one of the biggest threats to children under 5, making them weak and even putting their lives at risk. But now, the government is introducing a new solution, the malaria vaccine. The malaria vaccine is now in the routine immunization schedule. The malaria vaccine is administered in 4 doses. At 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and 18 months. This vaccine will provide extra protection against severe malaria. And don't forget, routine immunization protects children from many deadly diseases. Every vaccine matters. Visit the nearest health facility for routine immunization services today. Mr. Vaxxer, the malaria vaccine, is free, safe, and ready to protect our children. Will you join the fight and complete all 4 doses? For more information, call the Ministry of Health on 0800 100 066. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
You got us on your wallet! Bobby, again! What's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SIGs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders. June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals. Youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Welcome back from the break. Now on to our business reports. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Fred Bwino Chakulaga, has officially announced the 2025 vanilla harvest season dates, which will run from 18th June to 18th September. The minister made the announcement while addressing the media at the Uganda Media Center, where he further urged the farmers to only harvest matured vanilla, thus increasing the quality of products on the market. He also revealed that 604 tons of vanilla were exported in 2024 and fetched $16.6 million to the economy.
Based on the National Vanilla Maturity Survey and scientific analysis, I now officially declare the vanilla harvest period for season A 2025 to commence on the 18th of this month and end on the 18th of September this year. Farmers must selectively harvest only fully mature vanilla beans to ensure quality and avoid penalties. In 2024, Uganda exported 604 metric tons of vanilla, and this earned the country $16.6 million.
Now, relatedly, the State Minister for Privatization and Investment, Evelyn Anite, has highlighted government's efforts to create a favorable investment climate. This was during the Indian Business Forum in Uganda, organized to discuss the implications of Uganda's budget for the financial year 2024-25. The forum explored opportunities for collaboration in agriculture, energy, manufacturing, and mining. The meeting emphasized the potential for Indian businesses to invest in Uganda, leveraging the country's natural resources and strategic location.
Second thing is that, of course, there is a criteria for getting the tax exemption about what kind of investment you're doing, what is the value of investment we are doing. Other challenges comes in the policy. Yes, we are still, there's 2-3 challenges there, which I have discussed with Mr. Anil Patel and Mr. Jasmine Sir during my meeting, about the digital services taxes, about the import services taxes, and we have agreed that fine. There's always a way forward that how you are putting your challenges, and also ministry, department, agency understand, and we find the midway that how we move ahead. So,
but we have gone ahead and said there should be availability of water in those industrial parks, work on the sewage plants, but this is all in a bid to create an enabling environment for our business community. So I get excited to see the Indian business community calling all their business people together, and Grant Thornton calling all their clients, for them to be able to understand what is it in need for them in this budget.
Wrangle, which the government has totally failed to resolve. And I am very, very upset that many investors are not going to come into this country because of the wrangle which is with the properties and with the land. You cannot resolve anything. The corruption is in such a high level that there is no way you can sort out anything. including with the judiciary. I would like to appeal to the government of Uganda to look into this matter in a very, very serious manner.
All strategic sectors from building materials to information technology to medical to EV electric vehicles are getting this exemption benefits. So we really didn't see that need more sectors to be added in this year.
Now, on the international scenes, tensions are rising in the Middle East as Iran and Israel exchange missile strikes for a fifth day. Explosions rocked Tel Aviv, Jerusalem and Tehran overnight, sparking fresh fears of escalation. Some residents in Tehran are evacuating as attacks continue. At the G7 summit in Canada, world leaders called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and urged calm across the region. Take a look.
This is the moment Israel targeted Iranian state TV live on the air. The terrified anchor running for cover as smoke and debris filled the studio. The building up in flames. This reporter with bloodied hands rushing outside, blasting Israel's attack. The Israeli military claiming the station is at the heart of the regime's communications, saying residents were warned to evacuate. Israel also bombing Iranian F-14 fighter jets, claiming it now controls the skies over Iran. But the Iranians unleashing their own blistering missile barrage into the heart of Israel. Videos posted online showing deadly strikes on residential apartments, eviscerating parts of downtown Tel Aviv.
You can see the devastating impact of this Iranian ballistic missile strike. This was a residential apartment block, not a military target, and it's been totally devastated.
The pre-dawn attack leaving residents in shock.
The building shook. It was a big bang. It fell.
At least 24 people killed in Israel, more than 220 in Iran, in a deadly conflict that shows no signs of ending.
David, President Trump just urging all residents of Tehran to evacuate immediately. It's not clear what this means, but the US deploying fresh military assets to the region without delay. David?
Ian Pennell from Tel Aviv, and thank you.
I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. Thank you in Canada. But you probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can. We're going to have dinner with these wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early for obvious reasons.
People that die here, and we have between 24 to 26 injured here in the site.
We felt awful. I mean, it's invasion into your life. It's destroying things you built during your life. It's your house. It's invasion into your life, into your house, into not a very nice feeling. I mean, very depressing, very frustrating.
Tragic news there, but we take you now to the National Resistance Movement Electoral Commission, where they have started receiving nomination forms from aspirants of different political positions. Our reporter Tony Kent Chaze is standing on ground to give us the update of what's taking place there. Over to you, Tony.
All right, Today in the morning, the NRM Electoral Commission has commenced with the exercise of nominating candidates for positions within the parliament as well as the local government. And this exercise is going to be running from this particular day till the 30th of this month, this particular year. Joining me right about now is Ambassador James Chinobe, who happens to be a commissioner within the Electoral Commission of the NRM, to perhaps share with us and let us know what exercise it is that is happening here at the headquarters of the NRM.
Yeah, greetings to our viewers, and you're watching Ambassador James Chinobe. I'm a commissioner in the Electoral Commission, responsible for Uganda region, less Kampala and Wakiso, which we consider as metropolitan. As you, maybe to give you a recap, we started our elections on the 6th May. which culminated in the structural elections at the district level on 26th. Right now, as we speak, we are at the level of getting candidates who expressed interest from the 2nd to the 15th of this month. This exercise is going to continue up to the end of the month on the 30th. The candidates we are handling right now are LC5 chairpersons and members of parliament, those who go to the direct constituencies, and the women members of parliament. At the close of the expression of interest exercise, we had almost 2,800 delegates who had expressed interest to contest. What is commencing today is a continuation of what climaxed in expression of interest by those candidates coming with their papers. During the expression, we had given them forms to get nominated. They are required to come with at least a nominator and 2 seconders at most. But the requirement on the list is 20 people. Secondly, they are supposed to come with the academic documents, which are thoroughly verified. Why we are doing this is that we want to be sure that we have candidates who don't have issues with academic papers, because whoever emerges out of the primaries elections is going to be the flag bearer of the party. It would be a disgrace if we don't do enough due diligence and you have a candidate who gets disqualified on the day of nomination by the National EC. So what we do here, we thoroughly go through the process as if we were the National EC. We go through all the requirements that we would need when you get to the National EC. And then after this exercise, which is supposed to end on the 30th, we'll be leashing you now to the primaries, starting on the 2nd, and the elections on the 17th. The emerging candidate will be our flag bearer. But as we know, that sometimes there are contests that come out of elections, we are providing a period of about 1 or 2 weeks to handle all the petitions expeditiously that will have come out of the electoral exercise.
Commissioner, I want to ask you briefly, for the people that are watching us right now, this activity is happening concurrently with one that is happening at the district level of the NRM offices. What specifically is happening at the district level vis-a-vis this that is happening at the NRM headquarters electoral commission?
No, apart from this level of parliamentarians, both women and direct constituency and LC5, the rest of the elections as you know them at the lower levels, other than sub-county elections, nominations are actually going on right now, and the time frame is also the same. All of them will go through the same exercise as we are doing today, and it will end on the 30th. Now, the information to all candidates and those who nominated is that we shall be working 5 days a week, from 8 to 5 o'clock. Public holidays and weekends are excluded. So in effect, we are telling you that remove from your program all the weekends. And the only advantage is once you get in here, we can handle you as long as you enter before 5. Those coming beyond the 5 on the 30th will have no chance to stand. Secondly, this is a continuation of the expression of interest. It's not a fresh activity. So those who missed out on the opportunity of expressing interest, please don't bother to come here. And whoever was not covered in that exercise, you are not eligible to come for this exercise.
Maybe finally, Ambassador, we need to know from you. We have seen quite a number of potential candidates, but majority seem to be coming from far away parts of the country, that is from the north, the east and the likes, with perhaps the exclusion of the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, whom we've seen come in and leave. We wonder, was there any kind of setup to have this activity, have particular candidates come on this day, the next batch of candidates come in the next day, and maybe perhaps as well, why was this not a decentralized activity?
No, this is not a decentralized activity for one major reason which I've told you, that we have a contest with other players in the field. If you decentralize, you lose out on the quality control. We insisted that this level of elections, every candidate you lose after flag bearer level becomes so fatal to the party. So we chose to have this level directly monitored and supervised by the chair of the Electoral Commission and all the commissioners that you have here. Two, we have people coming from up country for one major reason. You guys who have gone through these exercises, you will note that there are many encumbering things. Most people would not want to take chances to come when it's a bit late. Some people have been sent back to verify documents. Some people have been sent back to pick this or that document. So we've been urging people that try to come earlier. In case you have a problem on the first or the second day, at least you have an opportunity to go and finish up. And most of those people who come from far, some of them dedicate 2 to 3 days to make sure that the exercise is completed. But otherwise, we are not going regional. Today, all the candidates who enter here in the premises of the commission will be handled, even if it means going up to midnight. Then tomorrow we shall start all over again. But we are urging those who have not come that the exercise will go on up to 30th. The place is too congested today. If you can, please, you can come in the next 2 or 3 days, but don't wait on the last day. We had a problem here. Some people arrived for no expression of interest on Monday. Others have been paying in the district today. So the day of closure of nominations is going to be 30th. Whoever doesn't come on 30th, there is no extension. 2, because sometimes we may send you to go back, pick this and that, make sure you have a clear 2-3 days before the close of nomination exercise. And lastly, we are appealing to our candidates. The exercise in the NRM elections is going to be joint campaigns. The voting is by lining up. So we urge you to be disciplined, be respectful, and have a peaceful and calm election, because after that exercise, we expect you to persuade those you stood with to support you when you get the flag, instead of people choosing to be independent candidates. We wish you all the best. For security, I want to assure Ugandans and all candidates coming in, there is top security. It's an encumbrance, but it's for your good. And that's why we wanted everybody to come here, and you avoid people who pickpocket outside there in the gate. Don't give your money to anyone. The Electoral Commission doesn't need any money from you. This exercise where we are now, the money issue ended and it's entirely free. Lastly, don't come and don't send your people. We don't allow nomination by proxy. You must physically appear with your agents, physically or with their IDs. If you can't carry those 2 people, get the photocopies of their identities and come with them, or you'll be nominated, even if you come alone.
Well, that is Ambassador James Chinobe, who happens to be a commissioner at the Electoral Commission of the NRM. But before we join you, bring you back or take you back to the studios, we have one of the nominated candidates who is proof that indeed this activity has been ongoing. Let's just hear from this nominated candidate. Your name, please, madam?
I am Violet Kabasindi Chiberu. Yes. NRM Hoima City, and I'm the incumbent NRM flag bearer, and I want to inform members that I have been fully nominated. The exercise is easy. Let all our colleagues come, but please do not come with so many people. And I'm urging the people of Hoima City, the people of Uganda, to nominate NRM candidates, the flag bearers, then in the general elections, to nominate the NRM candidates. Basically, I want to thank Hoima City people, for I know I am your person.
Wow. Well said. She is your person, and indeed this exercise that has started today will be going on until the 30th of this month. Like we say, today they've started off with the MPs and LC5, more so as well the city mayors and mayors. We shall be keeping you posted on UBC as we continue to inspire Uganda. Have a blessed afternoon.
Thank you so much, Tony Kenchaze, for bringing us to par on what is and should be expected in the forthcoming general elections. Now, on to our sports news. In commemoration of World Refugee Day, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, Uganda, has hosted a special football event in Palorinya refugee settlement in Obongi district. It aimed to promote peaceful coexistence, women empowerment, and refugee resilience. Take a look.
Have young girls at home, please allow them, expose their talent, allow them to play football. Let's promote them, let's promote cultural education, let's send them to school.
Since 2021, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA Uganda, has been implementing a sport for development activity for girls between 16 to 19 years in refugee settlements.
Purpose is to boost up the coexistence between refugee and host communities. Sports can empower the women and also the coexistence between refugees and host communities. Continuously having this kind of event, and exactly this can boost up the the football team, the co-organized between host communities and refugees.
It highlights sports as not only contributing to health, education and empowerment of the vulnerable, but also as a tool for social cohesion, tolerance and respect.
Through football, it helps to bring them together in one place to share, and the goal is to make sure that we empower them, they become peaceful as they are refugees in Uganda, such that by the time they go back to their country of origin, they become peace ambassadors.
This year's competition that came prior to next Friday's World Refugee Day attracted 4 teams at Ndiwa Parent Secondary School, Obongi District in Itula Sub-County. The football competition was arranged in the semi-final and final format and climaxed with Zone 3 West beating Zone 3 East on penalties after normal time ended 0-0.
I feel so excited. It has been a long journey from the game. There was no goal after the penalty where we won.
Apart from the football competition, there was a soccer clinic by Solitello Bright Stars FC, donation of football kits, a health clinic, and gender-based violence information awareness.
We have the non-football things where we're looking for things like teamwork. Are you a team player? Are you cooperative? Are you teachable? Do you take instructions and things like that? Those are some of the skills that we're trying to put into these girls, mostly because they'll also help them outside football.
Thank you so much for being confident. You've really exhibited that if girls are supported, they can play as well as boys. We encourage you to continue playing. For those that have won and those that have not won, we all win together.
Over the years, Japan International Cooperation Agency has organized 15 such tournaments that have attracted close to 1,000 refugees and host community members. Excellent players will take part in the annual Tokyo International Conference on African Development Cup in September. Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara and Vincent Wamondo.
Thank you so much, Helen and Vicent, for that report. And that, my friends, brings us to the very end of UBC Lunchtime News. Be sure to catch us later in our bulletins at 8 and 10 p.m. My name is Maureen Babide. Good afternoon.